Hey guys, here's my Godzilla-thon review for the American version of Godzilla 1984 Return of Godzilla, also known as Godzilla 1985. Yeah, I don't have the DVD in front of me. I'll hold them both up in the next review when I do the Japanese version. This isn't going to be so much of a review as much of my thoughts on the Japanese version. I'm currently heading to the gym. It's flawed, but it has its good points. Dr. Pepper financed some reshoots to add new scenes provided they get product placement, and boy did they. Raymond Burr returns to play Steve Martin, although they just refer to him as Mr. Martin because Steve Martin, the actor, was popular at this time. And that's what it is. Most of the American actors do not take the role seriously, with the exception of Raymond Burr. There's two scenes in particular that stand out. One when Godzilla's destroying Tokyo and this idiot Major mentions, "Oh, that's quite an urban renewal program they have going on there." And Raymond Burr just shakes his head. I'm not sure whether that's him being in character or just disgusted with the source material being treated that way. In another scene, well, this one, you know the story, but I'm going to give explanations in case anyone who's watching it don't. There's a scene with a Soviet ship in Tokyo Bay. In the real version, the captain of the ship dies trying to stop an accidental launch. In the American re-edit, they purposely make it look like he launches the missile. And the U.S. sends a counter missile. Well, the Major tells him about how, oh, that's just the aftermath of a stratospheric nuclear detonation. Totally harmless. And Raymond Burr just tells him, Major, in 1964, an atmospheric detonation blocked out communications in a 7,000-mile radius all the way from Australia to California, and he sounds really disgusted. And again, I'm not sure if it's Raymond Burr being in character or just him being disgusted with them not taking the material seriously. This is an inferior version, but it should be treated as a companion piece to the true version, just like Godzilla King of Monsters should be treated as a companion piece to the original masterpiece. This, particularly the Japanese version, but this was before I seen it, is still my favorite Godzilla movie of all time. Not so much this one now, but the 1984 original. So I still like a lot about this version, but it's definitely inferior to the original. There's a lot of scenes where they re-edit them in a way that it completely takes out suspense. Some odd choices, and there'll be scenes where Godzilla will be walking through the city and he's on the streets, and when you cut to the crowd running, they're on the ground. There was also the hobo, who I'll talk more about him in the 1984 proper review. In this one, it makes it look like Godzilla trampled him to death, but in the original version, it's more sinister because it's clear the radiation and coming from Godzilla kills him. In closing, there are a couple things the US re-edit does better. One, in the most notable, Raymond Burr's closing monologue fits the tone of the original movie, and if I had editing skills, I would love to edit a copy that ends with that monologue. And two, when Godzilla falls into the volcano in the Japanese version, when the explosions go off, you get this high-pitched shriek, then he falls into the volcano and you don't hear so much. In the American re-edit, after he falls, While he's falling, Godzilla lets out this terrifying, blood-curdling cry. And I do think the ending part was handled better in the American version, because also in the Japanese version, it cuts into this kind of goofy song where the American version, it goes into the credits, but you get the phenomenal soundtrack from this film. For a soundtrack that does not sound like what a Godzilla soundtrack should sound like, it's one of my favorite. It's got that great 80s vibe of the creepy, eerie soundtrack, like what you would see in Aliens or Terminator or other 80s movies. So I recommend this one. It's out of print, so you'll have to go to Sumo Gorilla to get it. Not only do I recommend that, but also get the Kraken release of the actual Japanese version, because it took decades for this version to come to the States, and support the official release of it. Get both versions so you'll have both copies. SumoGorilla.com, you can get you'll get a good double pack with both versions, but still get both copies. And until next time, don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Later I'll be posting my Godzilla 1984, The Return of Godzilla proper review. Over and out.